Hey there. Start here, back again. We're taking on Ruby Rose, which is the final boss of the current Dark Visions event. So I'm very excited to use the new unit, Curse of Immunity Melissa, against this boss. I'm not sure if she is if she's the best option for this one. She's certainly a good option for this boss, because she's got a lot of good things going for her. She's got the 100% amps, obviously, for Dark Element. And she's got human killers, which the final boss is a human, single race. She also has beast killers on the off chance that the boss decides to randomly summon its little Couerl, which is a beast type. So this boss has a little bit of RNG factor to it in that she might summon some minions. One of them is an undead, it's like a skeleton. The other is a Couerl, which is a beast. And if she summons the beast, then you have the potential to sort of really ramp up your damage score a bit, because then it becomes an AoE fight. And if you bring enough AoE DPS units, they can capitalize on that, and you can actually get a nice little damage bump. I have yet to actually do this clear yet with with the Couerl, but the strategy I'm going to show you works with or without the extra summons that might come with it. So let's go ahead and get in here, and let's see how we're going to get this one done. All right, I'll switch over to my Dark team. So here's the team that I decided to go with. It got me a pretty good score. I'm fairly happy with the way that it turned out. I'm not sure if it's going to be my best score, to be honest. Just the first team that I came up with and the first team that I wanted to try. But it gave me a pretty decent score, so I'm fairly happy with the way that it turned out, and I'll show you what I did to get the score that I got. So here are the units. I'm going to go ahead and jump in, and then I will show you the gear at the end. I promise I will show you the gear at the end. If I do, God forbid if I do forget, just like last time, I will put a link in the comments with the with a link to the team build. All right, so but I promise I will remember to show you the gear at the end this time. So let's just go ahead and get in here and see what we do. All right, so the first turn we're just going to go ahead and hit our chain score, because on our first turn we're not going to have enough hits to get 100 hits, because we've got Golbez and Cloud, who are, well, Golbez has 3 hits on his finisher, Cloud only has 1, and then we've got 3 Extreme Nova Chainers, so that does not equal 100 hits. So we're going to go ahead and do that on this turn. What 2B is going to do is do a Void to give everybody the Mirage, because the boss is going to do, I think, 3 AoE physical attacks. So we'll do some Mirage. Chizuru is going to start singing. So she has Zidane's STMR. So she's going to sing that. She'll be back on turn 4 when everyone's all buffed up. Okay. Esther is going to, she's just going to go ahead and do double bolting and Calm Before the Storm to make sure that her LB is nice and full. Actually, no, sorry, we're not going to do Calm Before the Storm because we don't need it. So, and just in case, you might want to hold off on doing her LB until the very last turn, because if we do get the beast, we're actually not going to do her LB until the very last turn. So I don't want to waste that Magnus. All right, Cloud is going to do triple True Focused. Golbez will just do triple Warlock and do triple Ruler of the Night. Melissa is going to do triple Darkra. All right, and hopefully the Chris drops. Hopefully we're going to get a lot of Chris drops going to Melissa, because unfortunately my Melissa is only EX1, and I really need her LB to be up next turn for this strategy to work. So I gave her a bunch of like preemptive LB fill stuff, but if your Melissa is EX2, then you don't have to worry about it so much. She'll have autofill on her LB. All right, so we're really trying to get that LB filled up here for next turn. If it doesn't happen, it's not the biggest loss in the world. It just means you use her LB on turn 4 instead of turn 2. All right. So here we're just chaining, just getting that chain count score out of the way. And she summoned the skeleton. We don't like the skeleton because the skeleton puts Mirage on Ruby Rose, and we don't really have an effective way to get rid of it. So we're gonna kill the skeleton. If the Couerl comes up, it's fine. The Couerl just does some AoE, I think magic attacks that Esther will cover and be just fine. Okay, so Golbez is going to do Jet Black Curse, Ruler of the Night, in an attempt to hopefully kill the our little skeleton friend, and then a Curse. All right. There we go. Yeah, because we really don't want the skeleton hanging around. Okay, 2B, if Melissa's LB isn't quite full yet, I have 2B equipped with Aurora Scarf so that her normal attack hits twice, and her normal attack does 5 AoE LB fill. And so that will give an extra 10 LB fill to Melissa. So just to sort of show you, I'm just going to do that because I don't need to do any kind of other action on this turn with 2B anyways. I leave that action slot open for 2B to do that, to fill up Melissa in case you need it. So now Melissa is going to do Dial of Destiny on herself. That's going to take 1 turn off that cooldown that normally isn't available until turn 6. So that way she can use it on turn 5 when we do our burst. And that's that neat little skill that's going to add the mod boost to 2B. All right, Cloud is going to go ahead and do True Cross Slash so that we have the 40% Greatsword in peril. Esther is going to shift because now she needs to start covering some damage. So she'll do Electromagnetic, Storm Guardian, and we'll do True Storm Brand. Very important that she imbues herself with lightning on this turn. All right, because then she needs to hit Ruby Rose with lightning next turn. That procs a very specific counter to make sure you want to make sure you hit her with an element, because otherwise she's going to come back and counter you with non-elemental magic. You don't want that. So that, yeah, that's very, very important. So this turn, it's just some lightning and wind damage, which is fine. Starting next turn, we have to hit her with an element of some kind. All right, if you do non-elemental or no damage, she does non-elemental damage back to you. You don't want that. All right, 2B is going to do her LB, okay, to go ahead and get prepared. You want her to go first. Very, very important, because you don't want her to get imbued or anything like that. Cloud is going to shift. We're going to do Elemental Lightning. So this was this is something I've wanted to try for a long time. So this skill does a 70 times mod boost to his LB, but it also imbues him with lightning. And so you can't dispel, you can't dispel him, because then you dispel not only the imbue, but you dispel the LB mod. But with units like Melissa and also with units like Sylvie, they can simply remove the imbue and leave the mod buff. So that's what we're going to do. So Cloud's going to do his Elemental Lightning. We'll do Fill LB and then just True Triple Slash to have something else to do. This is just to make sure his LB is ready to go on the burst turn. Okay. Since we don't have the Couerl on the field, it is safe for Esther to shift and do her LB. If the Couerl was on the field, Esther would just stay in shift form, all right, because she's got all of her resists and everything. She's stronger in there, and she would just hit the boss with Shatterbolt or something like that. You don't want to do her normal attack, because I'm pretty sure her normal attack is AoE. Actually, let me check. Is this AoE as well? Yeah, this is single target. So that way you can only target Ruby Rose in case the Couerl is on the field. Because if you can help it, you don't want to kill the Couerl. You want to keep it alive so that you can take advantage of the AoE damage. Okay. Since it's not on the field, we're going to go ahead and do Esther's LB on this turn. Now, if you saw my previous video, if you've seen any of my videos where I use any Meteor users, you know that I do not have Magic Boost Plus, and it kills me inside. It absolutely kills me inside that I don't have that I don't have Magic Boost Plus. So to simulate what you should do on this turn, you should use Magic Boost Plus if you have it. Since I don't, I'm just going to do Give Your Power to Meteor just to sort of simulate that action. All right. Now, Melissa can now do Abyssal Blessing to start the ramp. She can do Parasol Shield just for some extra mitigations for Esther, because it puts up beast and human mitigations, which is nice. So, you know, if the Couerl was on the field, that would help out with mitigations to Esther on this turn. And then we're going to do Shared Immunity, because the boss does some status ailments. We're not all immune to them. And it also gives Esther a 70% elemental buff across the board. So... Oh, she summoned another one, huh? That's all right. Esther's going to kill this one because I don't want it to put Mirage up on Ruby Rose or on anybody, really. So let's... All right. Now we can go ahead and set up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to... because you really want to make sure that Ruby Rose gets hit with something on this turn. So I'm going to keep an eye on the Dark Skeleton here, and it should die on like the first cast of this, because they're very, very weak. And so as soon as I see the Dark Skeleton's dead, I'm going to quickly tap Ruby Rose so that hopefully Esther hits Ruby Rose on this turn. All right. All right, very good. So that way, again, that's proccing the counters, the elemental counters, as opposed to the non-elemental counters. All right, now we're going to do Tyvis's Spirit on 2B. Chizuru will do Tyvis's Spirit. Cloud will do Nothing Personal. Again, if you had Magic Boost Plus, you would use it again on this turn. I'm just going to do Give Your Power to Meteor. So sad. So sad. All right, on this turn, we're going to go ahead and give a Human Killer to Cloud on this turn. And then we can do... let's just do like Chronic Flow and Bardarkja. That sounds appropriate, I think. All right, I think we are good there. If the Couerl was on the field, you would go ahead and give Cloud the Beast Killer as well. Alright, so now we're good to go. We haven't really taken any damage. Nothing that's going to affect your damage taken score. So now we're going to use that Seconds of Support on 2B. We'll do Enchanted Dial Human on 2B. And if the Couerl was on the field, we would do Enchanted Dial Beast as well. Since it's not, we'll just... Yeah, this action doesn't really matter, so I'll just do a Shell Go. Alright. Alright, make sure you shift everybody properly to do your burst. Alright, and we're ready to go. Okay, so I'll start with Golbez, and then I'll do Cloud maybe like a second later, and then I'll start the rest of the chainers here. Alright, and I'll do Esther, 2B, and Chizuru in that order. That way Chizuru takes full advantage of 2B's higher Katana Imperil. Alright, well, yep, I think we're all good here. Perfect, alright, very good. Excellent. Hopefully all that landed in. I think it should have. Should be a 93 hit chain. Did I get 93 hits? I did. Nice, 10.9. I think that's actually my highest. If the Couerl were on the field, that should easily be like closer to probably 12 billion, I would think. I would think it would, because you have Chizuru, Esther, and X-Death all doing AoE damage. They should each get like, you know, an extra billion. So potentially could do pretty well here with this team, I think. I just got it. It's more common to see the skeleton than the Couerl. So I just gotta keep going until I see the Couerl, and then yeah, and then hopefully it'll all work out. All right, so here's the damage spread. Cloud and 2B obviously are the heavy hitters. Wow, that's actually a low roll for my 2B. It's a high roll for my Cloud, so I'm happy about that. That's about the highest I've seen Cloud do. But I've seen 2B hit 4 billion before, so that's like 600 million left on the table. 2B. I'm not I'm not happy with that. So that could have easily been what 11.5 if she had actually rolled high like she was supposed to. Yeah, 1.5, 1.6 is pretty typical of my Golbez. Again, without Magic Boost Plus, it's just it kills me that I don't have Magic Boost Plus, because he should be doing so much more damage, but it is what it is. 1 billion is pretty typical for Esther. 1.7, 1.8 is pretty typical for Chizuru. I've contemplated taking Chizuru out. I'm just not sure who to put in her place quite yet. But I'm contemplating taking out Chizuru and seeing how that goes, but I'm just not sure who to fit in that slot yet. Anyways, that's just my initial clear team for getting this one done, and I feel like it got me a pretty good score. I'm fairly happy with that. Obviously, it didn't change my ranking at all. Stayed pretty much the same, but as soon as I get that Couerl to pop up, I think I will jump up a little bit more in my rankings. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful to you. If you guys have Rikku is, I think, still kind of viable for this one. But yeah, I mean, I don't think she's going to be like blowing all the other teams out of the water like the last Dark Vision. So a well-built conventional team should actually do just as well, if not better, than a Rikku team on this particular Dark Visions. All right. Now it is the first day, so I don't know. Someone might come up with some crazy strategy and show that Rikku still dominates. But I think this one will be a little bit more competitive for people that don't have Rikku. So I'm happy to see that. Anyways, if I think of something else and I come up with some other crazy team that does even better, I will certainly share that with you guys. I honestly don't care if people steal my strategies and use them to do better than me. That's perfectly fine. That's what it's all about. I'm just here to help. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the other side.